connective tissue disease. Here, we will have it is an autoimmune disease. When we talk about autoimmune disease, it means that your own body manufacture your own autoantibodies, not coming from antigen from outside, but your own body make antibodies called autoimmune antibodies, which are directed to each organ or cells to destruct it. This is what the autoimmune condition disease explained. Connective tissue disease, they contain those collagen, elastic fibers we have seen this morning. Then when the skin is affected, it's no longer elastic. It becomes hard as just a wood, as a cement. Okay? Now, we go up again, and this is, remember that this is classified into inflammatory, but in non-infectious. Then we go to urticaria and erythemas. Urticaria, we have touched a bit this morning, where the condition, the skin lesions, the main one is the will. Okay? Okay? And erythemas. Erythema is red. A red lesion is erythematous. Of course, in our skin, you can not visualize the skin erythema, the skin which is red, but it's inflammatory. But like that one, you can see. Yes. Because when you have a lesion, a mosquito bites, then it becomes red around the site of you have been bitten. Okay? Muri gukurikira? Hello, Huye.
Yes.
Kumutavuga ariko nta muntu ari.
Yes, we are there.
I'm looking at you. Now, then we go up. Papyrus squamous. What does it mean? Papyrus. They are the main, when you say papyrus squamous, the main primary regions are papyrus. Okay? And eczematous lesions. Eczema, or dermatitis. Okay? Now, the inflammatory conditions, the part of non-infectious, it comprises those 4 classifications, okay? Sub-classifications. Now, we go to infectious. Viral disease, herpes simplex, okay? Yes. Hepatitis B, sometimes it may give, although it is a systemic condition, but sometimes we have lesions linked with hepatitis C infection. Okay? But mainly we have herpes, okay? Herpes simplex, herpes zoster, molluscum contagiosum, okay? These are the viral infections. Now, bacteria, we have many, but here we'll cover staphylococcal skin infection, like we see in erysipelas cerebritis and necrotizing fasciitis. We have many. Epithelial is, of course, a bacterial infection caused by streptococcus or staphylococcus. But other pathogens may lead to skin infection, like Pseudomonas aeruginosa, also in nails corrosion, skin corrosion. Now we go to fungal infection. We have superficial fungal infection, like dermatititis, where you have tinea, where yeast infection, where you have tinea versicolor, where you may have other small conditions. But mainly, we will cover yeast infection, pityriasis versicolor, IC, or tinea. Tinea, where we have tinea capitis of the scalp, Hushi, and the others. Now, when you go to protozoa, mainly we will go to venereal disease, STIs. Okay? Now, we go to the other one, big one, malignant lesions. We have here pre-cancer skin lesions, cancer region infection like squamous cell carcinoma, basal cell carcinoma, or acral melanoma, which is a problem of melanocytes when it becomes neoplastic. Okay? Then benign skin lesions. There are tumors like lipoma. What else?
Melanoma.
Which one?
Melanoma.
Melanoma, yes. Lipoma, cyst. We have many. We have plenty of skin tumors. Then we go to others, mainly metabolic and toxic insult and trauma. Metabolic like metabolic. These metabolic disorders like diabetes may lead to foot gangrene. It's an example. It may lead to pruritus. Okay. Here, mainly we have internal organs associated with skin conditions. Okay. Then we go to these genetic regions or disease, like the one which is we have touched this morning, ichthyosis. Okay, this is the one, dermatosis, tuberous sclerosis. Okay, we have many. Mainly, this is what we have in dermatology classification. Okay, of course, we can't have all this for 3 days. Okay. In dermatology, we have more than 6,000 skin conditions so far identified. Okay. There are other who are still discovered. Okay. But this is just what we have. I think you can do the course of dermatology is 4 years. For other countries, it's 5. Then, which means if they go to 5 years, I think it makes sense. Then dermatology cover all this. Okay. Now, after this classification, we go to dermatitis. What is dermatitis? Dermatitis. Itis. It's an inflammation of some. Dermatitis, which means in dermatitis, commonly named or termed as eczema, is the inflammation of the dermis, and the cause is something known or not known. Okay? And in dermatitis, especially, we will cover here atopic dermatitis, because atopic dermatitis is a syndrome. Okay? Do you know what is a syndrome? Yes. What is it, a syndrome? Huh? Yes. Eczema is a syndrome comprising of polymorphism, superficial inflammation, but the cause may be internal, external, when it comes to allergies. And in atopic dermatitis, we will just define what we call atopy. What is atopy? Okay? It's common if I ask one of you, yourself or in your family, who is sneezing? Raise hands. No one sneezes here. So we never ask. Butare, who sneezes in your class? Who here? Now, there is no eczema without itching. Okay? This is the major and the main component of patients who suffer from eczema. It's a friend plus itching. Okay? Always retain this. There is no eczema without itching. Now, contact dermatitis. Because we have many subtypes of dermatitis. Inflammation of the skin occurring at the site of contact with irritating or allergic substance. Okay? You touch this, you touch the laptop, I may react, which means through the cell you have seen, master cells, ganglion cells, there is the immunological way they turn into this to a skin problem. Okay? Then, when you encounter one of the irritant of allergen substance, in especially people who sneeze, allergic nose, who scratch eyes, allergic conjunctivitis, okay, or who has asthma, okay, plus skin lesions. This is what we call atopic dermatitis. That's why it's considered as a syndrome. Okay. Now, in contact dermatitis, we have two phases. Acute phase, always itching, of course. Then erythema, it's red. The lesion is red, although it's not well seen on a pigmented skin. And of course, we have vesicles. Sometimes the patient will come to you without vesicles because they have ruptured. Okay? In the chronic phase, we have seen this. There is cirrhosis. This is a pattern also of eczema. Cirrhosis is dryness of the skin. Cirrhosis, okay? You have hyperkeratosis. Why? Hyperkeratosis. We have seen this morning. The skin becomes dry and thick. Cornified. Lichenified. They are symptoms. Okay? and sometimes fish. You see, our terminology will be covered here. Itching always will happen. Yes. Now, atopic dermatitis. Ibi ikizakibabaza buri gihe ndakibaza ariko nkibaza mu buryo okay. Now, abihuye mwumvise atopic dermatitis is chronic, it's a pruritic with inflammation, and it has a wide range of symptoms. Now, initially, the patient may have a lot of lesions, but lesions may spread. And where the lesions occur, there is always itching. Okay? Now, relapses are frequent. And atopic dermatitis, AD, may be associated with one or more of other atopic diseases that are asthma, bronchitis, and rhinitis. Atopy being the presence of one of these conditions from you or the near family, sisters, and the siblings and parents. If one has this, it means that you are atopic, because these kind of people are always predisposed to have any kind of allergy. Okay? There are even those people who are allergic to meat. How would you allergic to meat? Who? You don't eat. And what happens if you eat meat or a fruit? Yes. Meat? And you pretend not to be okay. You never scratches the eyes. Sneezing, yes. He used to sneeze, although he has stopped. But remaining is the allergy. Always when the patient comes to you, ask this kind of question. Because sometimes it may pruritus or atopic dermatitis may mimic other skin conditions. Then it helps you to ask. Even if you had this in childhood, it may disappear, but you still have. Your child may have asthma, may have allergic rhinitis or bronchitis. Okay? And sometimes we need another associated regions like exosis. Always you see people who wear a multi-atom factor. I always why if I don't apply any ointment, it's a kind of atopic as well. Yes. Atopic dermatitis, it's people have genetic predisposition to have one of these conditions we have seen previously, and allergic substance like meat. Ni inyama zose izi nkoko zirya, izi nka, izi hene, izi ntama, uzagira izi ntama rero. Okay, but it's just it's a temporary problem. We like after 1 year always try to eat a piece of meat to see if the allergy has gone. Yes, because it's not a permanent allergy. Myself, I used it when I was too young. The primary, the sign and symptoms. Always put in our minds, yes. The primary and most distressing symptom. Yes. Always it is constant. There is no atopic dermatitis without itching. Yes. Okay. Small erythematous papules or papullovesicles. You see how we mix papullovesicles. Huh? You may have not vesicles because they have dried, that they look as a papule, okay? Or they are mixed papule and vesicles. These are the areas, the regions, and papules coalesce to form a erythematous plaque. Make a big plaque. That means plaque, weeping, crusting, or scales. Now you start just understand why primary regions are necessary to have in your mind. Then xerosis. Okay? You may have a patient with only what? Itching and dryness, skin xerosis. Another come with dryness at this part, another part. You have weeping regions, other have already dried curtain. But always itching is present. Okay? Now, what are the complications? Of course, infectionization, bacterial, viral, fungal. Because of these patients, children especially, they are vulnerable to bacterial, fungal infection, viral infection, like molluscum contagiosum, because of they always use this topical steroids to apply. The topical steroid also, at a long run, it gives problem because it bleeds and then to make thin the epidermis, and then these bacteria, viruses, then have the port of entry to penetrate the patients most of the time. You have patient people with this condition. Post-inflammatory pigmentation, IPO or IPA, because of recurrent inflammation and skin disease, lichenification. Just it is thick, the thickness. Okay, it's indurated. The region is indurated. These are the clue. You see, like this patient, you have this on antecubital fossa. This is a characteristic or popliteal areas. Always, they who have this, don't ask anything else. This is atopic dermatitis. This is a clue. When you have atopic dermatitis, have predilection at this area. Okay? Ayo butare murakurikira?
Yego.
Allo?
Hello, turi kukumva.
Mukurikira.
Yego.
Yes, turakurikiye.
Yes. Now, if we go to treatment, management, because atopic dermatitis always it's associated with cirrhosis, okay? Because there is a difference of ceramide or those rehydrating component from the skin, and you have to rehydrate the skin from outside. Okay, that's why everyone here at least put ointment, Vaseline or anything like this Vaseline. Then we recommend emollient to restore the cutaneous there, as the cutaneous barrier is a bit is impaired. All those substances from our environmental area, they are like allergens. Then when they penetrate, they render even more this this atopic dermatitis get to stay. Now, conditions in xerosis, we have to use emulsifying ointment. This is it's done by Kipharma or other pharmacies. You may use plain Vaseline. Plain Vaseline, just avoid this Vaseline containing petrol. You see petroleum gel, because this petroleum most of the time cause allergic reaction. Okay, even butter, amavuta y'inka nubwo hari abashobora kuyagiraho allergy. Even this, there are some people who react to these three. Always when you apply, if there is no relapse, then change the ointment. Of course, what to avoid? Avoid the tensive agents. Soap, medicated soap, or rubbing and evacuation down. Here we 15 minutes of press. Okay, medicated soap because they increase dryness of the skin, like a Dettol, like we have many Dettol and I don't remember what. Dettol, medicated soap. Now, atopic dermatitis, it's a treatment. We favor topical treatment. Okay? There is an antiseptic for weeping oxidative lesions known as potassium permanganate, diluted at this ratio. And then for all weeping regions, the patient may just take a shower with it. Within 1 or 2 days, the regions dry. Then before you treat, you apply the region, the ointment. Antibiotics, of course, on localized regions, acidic acid, cream or ointment, acidic, or then topical dermocorticoids, according to the topography and the thickness of the results. Corticosteroids or dermocorticosteroid or topical steroid are divided into 4 categories. The potent 1 to 4. 1 is the stronger one in Anglo-Saxon classification. In French classification, the stronger one is 4. What is the first in Anglo-Saxon 1? But we will use the Anglo-Saxon one. We go to like clobetasol, propionate, Dermovat. It's a cream or an ointment, or we go to betamethasone up to hydrocortisone, the less potent one, 4. Then systemic treatment, antihistamine has no cannot improve atopic dermatitis, although most of the physician or doctors they give antihistamine just thinking that it will stop the itching. It's no. Promethazine only is given because it has sedative properties. Because for those people who are stressed by itching, with intense itching, then to help him, that will give antihistamine like promethazine so that he can see nothing else. But antihistamine has no role in atopic dermatitis treatment. Okay? Now, use topical steroid with caution because it has, yes, because it is antihistamine. Therefore, the properties also they can also prevent itching. They can prevent. because antihistamine, its role is to stop the mast cell to to give this histamine. Okay? Histamine is contained in mast cell. The mast cell, when you have to check, it will rest. Okay? And the histamine make the skin to itch. Okay? As in
Wait,
atopic dermatitis, the mast cell has no image. Okay? Antihistamine is usually used in allergic, proven allergic condition, like allergic rhinitis, because it may lead to pollen, to some sensitization by mites, in-house mites. Okay. But in atopic dermatitis, it has another physiopathology, which is differ from the mast cell function. Okay? No, it is no. Zana kibabaza. Uzavuge wi. Okay? I think in atopic dermatitis, what we have to retain is a pruritic condition, which is a genetic condition always associated with atopic disease, which are asthma, allergic rhinitis, and allergic conjunctivitis, and other quarter of skin conditions like dryness of the skin, the lower or upper lips, and xerosis. We have many conditions. And treatment restore the cutaneous barrier by applying emollient, okay, ointment. And of course, treat locally. Prednisolone systemic, oral prednisolone, oral steroid has no role in treatment of atopic dermatitis. I repeat, oral steroid has no role in atopic dermatitis or eczema treatment. Okay? Okay. And we are done with atopic dermatitis or dermatitis in general. Any question before we proceed to the second topic? Julie, can you?
there is the other things that you raised for mast cells and histamine. Those things you were replying to the GACO student. We didn't get it.
Ntabwo uvuga cyane.
Narindi kubaza hari ikibazo umunyeshuri wo muri GACO yabajije tutumvishe neza kandi uburyo wagisobanuye nabwo ntabwo twabyumvishe kuko
The use of antihistamine in eczema treatment.
Yego.
Niyo ngiyo. Because I said there is antihistamine has any role in eczema or atopic dermatitis treatment. Only when some people may give promethazine, sorry, because it has a sedative properties. That is it. Otherwise, antihistamine, because antihistamine interact with the mast cell, okay? And in atopic dermatitis is not an allergic condition as such. It's a genetic condition where people who have atopic dermatitis or who are atopic are predisposed to have any kind of allergy. That is it. But itself, it's not caused by an allergy. Okay?
Okay.
So now let's go to the second topic. Parasitic infestation. Abahuye murakurikira?
Yego.
Screen murayibona
Yes.
neza?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the second topic will be parasitic infestation. Why I say parasitic infestation, not parasitic infection? Anyone? Huh? No.
Maybe because it is an external, not an internal part of the body.
Right. Just it's these are contagious condition provoked by the parasites, where the parasite infest some areas, Himbaragasa, okay, Shikara, etc. I think in the parasitic infestation, we have many infestations, but the most common in our setting, in our area, is Scabies, Shishikara, which Ushimi. Okay? Now, Scabies is a human scabies, because you have non-human and mammals, so you do have, is a pruritic and contagious skin condition caused by the Sarcoptes scabiei various hominis. It's transmitted via direct, prolonged contact with an uninfected individual. Wait a bit. Look at this one. Now you can see it. Huye.
Yes.
Yes, we are seeing.
Yes, now it's this one I want to show you. This one, PowerPoint. Now, scabies. Okay? Scabies, microscopically, it looks like that. Okay? It's a pruritic and contagious skin condition, which is common in school, in military camps, okay? In refugee camps, in poor conditions, but it's also seen in killing people like you, like me. Okay? What we call scabies of killing people. And this one, I have been treating it for 1 year until I realized that I had misdiagnosed scabies. Okay? Because the symptoms are clear. If you omit one point in anamnesis, you can lose your diagnosis. Because some people, In the rural area, yes, they have a typical lesions. Okay? It is heterogeneous. Okay? Now we can speak dermatology. Heterogeneous vesicles. Okay? You scratch. Do you have explanation? Heterogeneous is here, here, between the toes and between the fingers. It's common. The itching is common at these areas. And looking at this one, this is the mature, the picture up. It's a mature Sarcoptes scabies. Okay? When you scratch the region, the barrel we have seen, and you prepare the sample and you mix it with KOH, hydroxide potassium, then you may visualize this way. Okay? These are the eggs. But this one is under microscope, of course. Okay? Yeah, you cannot see them. Okay? But with your eyes, you can see them. But when you scratch to the microscope, the direct microscope, you see this. Okay? In adult. And then when it penetrates, it has a cycle. Okay? Someone, and it lies in the dermis, not in, it lies in the epidermis, not in the dermis. Okay? The mature Sarcoptes, let us say it's this one. Okay? You are in contact with it. Where? Clothes, common transports, okay? In buses, in chairs, in the wheelchair, on beds, okay? Then Sarcoptes is left out, okay? As a small egg, okay? You see this cycle. Now, this is mature. You have this. This is the egg. Then it grows up. When left outside, it ruptures to have a larva here. Then this is the nymph. Then this is mature, the one which will penetrate the skin of another patient. Okay? Now you have this circle. That's why when someone has in the family or in the school, it means that you have to treat everyone. Okay? Because each one may be a host of the mature Sarcoptes. We have a female and a male, of course. Okay? They copulate inside here. They make eggs inside here. Okay? Then the insect will go out or will rupture inside. It depends. Okay? Now, that's why it's highly contagious. The signs are simple, but if you omit one, especially the characteristic of the itching, the pruritus, you may misdiagnose this one, the scabies. Okay? Now, we have a nocturnal intense pruritus. This is one. Always, if someone itches, ask him, okay, is it daytime, during the night time? Yes or no? If it's in the night time, now, the second question you ask him, there is someone else who itches, okay? Because it is contagious. If it is in the family, if you have your partner, you have to itch. Okay? Even children. Three, go and look at the lesions, especially in between fingers, web space. Okay? Even discreet, but almost people itch at this area and at evening time. Okay? For females, around the nipples and on genital areas at the groins. The characteristic of lesions, they may be papules, pustules, excoriations because of scratch. Okay? Just anamnesis is very important in diagnosis scabies. Okay? Now, how do you treat it? Everyone should know how to treat scabies, not only a dermatologist, because the treatment is easy and medication available and cheap, affordable. Okay? We have a lotion known as BBE, 25% benzoate emulsion, or known as Scabior. This is another one. But you apply by evening time. The lotion may stay from 12 to 24 hours. In the routine, what I do myself, by evening time, everyone who lives in one house, the entire family, they have to apply at the same time by evening time from the neck up to the toes. Okay? By tomorrow, every non-washed clothes, okay, covers, bed sheets, people have to wash and dry out and iron. Can you wash the mattress? Because it's infested with these mites. Okay, how can you do that? Just you buy insecticide, okay, then you spray onto chairs, mattress, curtains, etc. But at the same time, otherwise, if you treat yourself without cleaning this, those eggs will reinfest you again. Okay? Then you have to treat 7 days after the last application of your treatment. Why? Because the eggs that have been produced inside the epidermis, they rupture within this range of period, which means if you treat today, you kill the mites who are on the surface, okay? But those lying in the dermis, in the epidermis, they will remain intact, isn't it? They will go out, then they will infest other people, which means you have to do the same as you have done the first 3 days, okay? This is the treatment. Now, recommendation. All families and member close contact must be evaluated and treated for scabies. Of course, instruct patients just to launder clothing, bed linens, towels, etc. Okay, and again you do it after 1 week. Items that cannot be washed may be professionally dry cleaned or sealed in plastic bags for 1 week or sprayed with insecticide. Okay, this is scabies. I think from today you are able to treat scabies, to diagnose it, okay,
Question.
correctly and treating it. Yes, please.
Question. When are they allowed to
Yes.
shower? ryari bemerewe koga?
After 12, normally after 12 hours, when you take, you apply the lotion by 6 p.m., you can take your shower at 6 a.m. in the following morning. There is no problem.
Okay.
A question.
Okay. Okay.
Question.
We continue for another topic now. Are you ready for the next topic? Bacteria infection.
Question.
Bacteria infection. Now,
I think there is a question. Someone has a question.
vuga cyane. Hello?
I have a
Speak
question.
loudly. Yes.
So I wanted to ask if that medicine doesn't have like a smell, like for people, maybe someone may have scabies and have some respiratory problems like sinusitis. So how would you deal with that person if he or she has scabies?
Then a patient with atopic dermatitis, for example.
Yes, parasitic. That parasitic. No, scabies.
Sinkumva neza
If
pe biravugira.
She's asking about scabies.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
it has some smells and then can interfere with someone's respiratory processes, how are we going to deal with those one? He mentioned the example of sinusitis.
Arumva. Biri kuvuga sinzi birajwigira ntabwo ushobora kukumva neza. Some people just I requested them to mute. Wakongera ukabaza or send a chat.
Yes, I will send a chat.
Okay. Harerimana Emmanuel aragiye. Harerimana ugiye. Mugisha nawe aragiye Innocent. Hubert Gahira quitté la réunion.
Ni ukubera internet. Hari ukuntu internet ijya yigira ikavaho
Now,
ariko
I was
akongera
asking
akagaruka.
about scabies. What if someone is having scabies and recently with respiratory problem like sinusitis? Won't the medication have an effect on him or her if it has a smell? How could we deal with that person? Ariko bariho baragenda abantu sinzi turekera aho.
Ni ikibazo cya internet rwose.
Eh?
Ni ukubera
Now,
internet.
for your question, of course, the treatment available like Scabior or BBE 25% is it has bad smells. That is true, but a bad smell does not means it's allergenic. Okay, but he may be allergic to Scabior as he may react to other ointment. But the treatment is the one, then the smell does not means there is an allergy. Okay? An allergy just when you contact dermatitis. Of course, remember that this is a product, it may give allergy to some people. As nk'uko agira amavuta bagira allergy ku yandi mavuta. Okay? Okay?
Yes.
Some are having low internet connection, but they are joining again soon. Okay, please join. Now, let's go to bacterial infection. Screen murayireba neza?
Yes.
Okay. Now, infection of the skin and soft tissue are common and affect all ages. That is true. And we classify the superficial skin infection through three main classification. The